You're listening to a bonus episode of the Cloud Accounting Podcast recorded at the Scaling New Heights Conference in June of 2022. I hope you enjoy. Welcome, everyone, to a bonus episode of the Cloud Accounting Podcast. We are recording on the show floor at Scaling New Heights in Orlando, Florida. I'm Blake Oliver.
And I'm David Leary. And Blake, we have another guest. This is what we do at conferences. We try to interview people and bring them on guests.
We talk to real people in real life.
I know we're at Scaling New Heights. 4 weeks ago, we were at Accounting Web. So we're at Accounting Web. We thought everybody we knew that was cool was at Accounting Web. But apparently, Blake, you didn't know this. A whole nother conference was going on. I think it's in Miami. It happened. So we have one of the organizers of that conference, and she can tell us about this. So we have Vanessa Vasquez on. Vanessa, say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Vanessa.
And I'm going to say the conference correctly, I hope. It's Conferencia F.I.T. It's an abbreviation.
It's a Conferencia F.I.T. It is Finance, Innovation, and Technology. So in Spanish, it translates to the same thing. It's Finanzas, Innovación, y Tecnología.
Sí.
Yes.
That's
so
it.
it's the same thing in English and in Spanish, and we did it on purpose.
And this is the first conference you ran of your own.
This is the first conference in person. We did in September in 2021, and it was virtual. And then everybody wanted something in person, and we decided to do it in May of this year. And it was in person in Miami, yes.
And the whole conference is in Spanish.
The whole conference is in Spanish.
Amazing.
The vendors were there representing, the sponsors were represented in Spanish. We were able to bring each and every one of the vendors, and they hire people just to represent them completely in Spanish. So it was amazing.
And just full circle, I remember when Joe Woodard here at Scaling New Heights, there was the first time he had a Spanish track, and there was a couple Spanish sessions. And did you evolve from that? Did you do one of those sessions, and now you've turned this into, like, how big is the Spanish-speaking accounting and bookkeeping community? Maybe that's the question.
Okay, so going back to first the same question, right? Yes, we were the first one. We went to Joe Woodard and we said, Joe, we want to a Spanish track in Scaling New Heights, and he said yes, just like that. And I prepare 5 classes, and I present them all with Carmen Marique, which is my partner in crime, and all this crazy idea that we started. And the whole idea was to bring the Latino community, the accountants, the bookkeepers, the tax professionals, the pro advisors that were starting into this business to an atmosphere like this. We wanted them to also feel what we feel here as a community. We want them to learn and apply the knowledge that we come here and we get to their businesses, right? To all of their clients, to all of their employees, their team members, and all that. And we were feeling that the whole idea behind it was not focused towards only the Latin community. And we needed that. So we did the pod, it worked. Some of the community, we had like 27, almost 30 people that came to the classes, that attend Scaling New Heights, that still are coming to Scaling New Heights. But again, we needed more of that support. We needed more of that platform, that environment that they felt that it was only for them. And we started talking to Joe, and we said, Joe, what do you think? And he said, well, you can do a conference. And we started planning back in 2018, 19. And then, of course, happiness happened.
So I noticed you have lots of sponsors, and I think you mentioned all the sponsors that showed up had to send somebody at their company that spoke Spanish.
Yes. And they did it specifically just for this conference. Like, there was people like Licio, they hired 2 people just to go and to be there. And now they're representing all the accounts, and all the things that are happening because they are, receiving those people and giving them support.
What percentage of the sponsors that you had at this event, like what percentage had to do that? Like how many already had, the representation on the team, and how many had to hire?
I'm going to tell you, there was 2.
Only 2 had?
2 had Spanish speakers, and then the rest had to hire.
Wow.
And it was amazing just to see. And it was a whole process of 5 months between the process of getting them started and understanding that they have to come for the conference and explaining what they were going to do. And still we're in the process of like bringing in the people and understanding what is happening.
What a ripple effect. Because this makes sense. Like, you're probably in the right time at the right place, because isn't like the stats of Hispanic Americans opening businesses just ridiculously higher percentages than any other race?
It's 1.2, according to the SBA, is 1.2 million back in 2021 of new businesses, Spanish speakers only. Not counting the Latino, but Hispanic, because the difference a little bit there is that the Hispanic community only speaks Spanish. The Latino community are the second generation, right, that have their English as either their first language and then the second language because their family comes from Latin America, or that they have come very early into this country and they have learned the language, their English, even as a second language, but it's pretty good, so they understand more of the English. But yes, it's the 1.2 million based on what the SBA ran in numbers, which is very big.
And what are the numbers behind your conference, Conferencia F.I.T? How many people came? How many vendors did you have? Where did everybody come from? What kind of firms are there? Tell us about it.
So we have a percentage of, I will say, well, it's all accountants, bookkeepers, and tax professionals. And we had I would say like a 10% of clients that specifically have businesses but have in-house accounting. And they wanted those people to receive also this information. But the percentage, we had like 120 people that attended, and we had 22 sponsors. And of all those sponsors, everybody was representing either through booth or through inside of the main event where everything was happening. They was representing also with training that they were giving, like education that they were bringing to the community. And of the percentage of, let's say, there was around, I would say 55% that were companies of 5 and more, and then the rest were 5 or less, like 4 or less. So of employees, right? Contractors and employees-based firms. And companies that have tax professionals that serve 150, 200, 300 tax, preparations that come to us and say, I'm just starting. And I'm like, okay, but you need a process. Oh, okay. So that is why I'm here. And they learn the whole idea behind what Conferencia F.I.T is all about.
So what is the difference between Latino Tax Fest and your conference?
Okay, so
other than Latino Tax Fest, have you ever seen the pictures of them just dancing in the pool, which just looks amazing? We should be going to that conference, Blake.
I know, right?
You should. The difference between Latino Tax Fest and Conferencia F.I.T, I'm also going to be in Latino Tax Fest because I present the whole idea behind it, which is processes. So Latino Tax Fest is more focused into the tax professionals, right? The whole idea of bringing the tax laws, the compliances, everything that has to deal with tax preparation. It doesn't do more of the processes, which is what we do. Finances, Innovation, and Technology, which is Conferencia F.I.T, it focuses everything on processes. How do you bring finances and technology together, right, to be more efficient, more effective, but also how the innovation is the center of all this, right? Innovation, it comes from within. You have to bring the innovation into all this to be able to work, because not all the customers, all the clients, all the attendees are the same. Each firm works different.
And when you say processes, are you talking about bookkeeping processes, accounting processes, so more
practice management, everything that has to deal with what happens when a client come in, right? The whole assignment of a client's come in, and then what I do. What is the next part? Part. How do I address them? Do I send them a WhatsApp? Do I send them a form? Do I send them an email? Do I send them a contract? There's a lot of them that does all of these compliances and they don't even have a contract, because again, the culture is just come over here to the United States and hustle. Let's just do whatever we have to do to, grow and expand, and they just do it. And that is part of the culture. We need to teach them and train them and educate them on the fact that there are processes to be put in place so you can grow and expand. There's no way that you can grow and expand without a process.
So obviously your companies are noticing. I noticed even Intuit, their logo, that Intuit Accountants, and it had en Espanol underneath their logo.
Yes.
Now I noticed they have certification. Is the certification offered in Spanish now?
So we are right now into conversations to be able to bring the certification, not in Spanish, but just the training. So to train them just the same way that we train QuickBooks or the same way that we train any other application that is completely in English, that we train them in Spanish for them to understand what is happening and for them to take the test based on what they have learned and understanding that they can translate it, because a test, you can put it in Google Translate, will do the whole translation of the test. So yes.
It's monstrous because it's a barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Right? If you can't get that certified QuickBooks badge because you don't speak English, this is amazing that you guys are driving this. It's really, really thankful for this, for the industry. It's really important because we talk. This is that whole diversity and inclusion, that it's all these small things add up.
Well, we need more accountants, we need more bookkeepers, and we can't keep recruiting them from the same places, right? I mean, we need career changers. We need people from different backgrounds that may not have known about accounting being such a great profession. So,
and not only that, should the language be a barrier for them to grow?
No,
should their language be a barrier for them to be able to put these processes in place? It shouldn't be. And if I have the opportunity of learning the English and being able to be surrounded by all of you and being able to be surrounded by all of these applications and all of these processes and learning in so many ways, that's an opportunity that I have and that I need to bring to my community. That is like part of a calling more than anything else. And putting together this conference, what it says is that you guys are important. We're going to do it for you. It's going to happen. It's going to continue happening. And we're going to bring a solution that you really need. So that is very important for them to understand that there is an environment that is safe and that they can learn from it. So the whole community is growing. We have already, after right now, and we just ended in May, we have already 78 people registered in Conferencia
for
F.I.T
next
already,
year's event.
For next
so when
year,
is next year's event?
It is 23, 24, and 25, May 23.
And it's in
Miami.
Miami
The
again?
Miami Convention Center, Miami Airport Convention Center, right next to the airport. We have a whole convention center for us. And we are, getting all the apps and all the solutions ready for us to be.
So can Blake and I,
yes,
if we practice Duolingo, our Spanish a little,
yes,
to the event?
Yes, so you guys can come to the event. You never know. We do have people that have come that feel more comfortable in the Spanish environment. That's why they attended Conferencia F.I.T, but they do speak English. There's some of them that speak English, so you never know. That will be super cool. We would love to have you guys there.
Maybe that could be a plan.
Yes,
Maybe I start thinking about that.
And what's that website?
Conferenciafit.com.
Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure.
This is great.
Yes, the same here. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Vanessa.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye.